Ladies and gentlemen, before the start of tonight's feature, would everyone please rise for the singing of our national anthem?
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare colors bursting in gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
My thesis is called Broadcast Sculpture, and it's essentially over with, the studio component. This is a recording of it. And what I have to do now is to document it and defend it in my orals and defend it in my written part. And that's something which I'm excited about, the written part. I think it's going to be, it's important for me to write it and explain where I'm coming from in my art.
Are you making good progress?
In some sense, I've made a lot of progress in terms that I know what I'm doing, but I haven't gotten it down onto paper quite just yet.
My name is Davis Rogan. I'm an English major. I'm doing my thesis on Charles Johnson's Oxherding Tale. I'm basically writing about the various canons that are alluded to in this book, and it's a peculiar conclusion. And I haven't written an abstract yet, so I really don't know how to summarize it in 20 seconds. I've written this much so far. I just finished redoing my introduction and my conclusion. I have my first and second chapter to totally rewrite. Well, more or less. And it's pretty much done, and at this point I'm not really terrified, and I'm more terrified about the 3 other units that I'm taking in addition to being a second semester senior. And this is the guy I'm writing on, and he stares at me while I work.
Hi, I'm a general literature major, and I'm doing my thesis as a comparison between Wendell Berry, who's an American poet alive right now, and Tao Yunming, who lived in the Jin Dynasty from 365 to 427. And they're both farmers and poets, and I'm talking about how they chose to be farmers, chose to take themselves out of the usual prestigious jobs, and decided to live intentionally and live in harmony with nature, and how their poetry reflects that kind of wisdom, that kind of momentary insight with nature. I'm pretty excited about my thesis in the sense that I'm excited about trying to figure out myself how I want to live. I'm not excited in the fact that I'm kind of sick of Reed, and I don't think that in the expository mode we can find out very much about the way the world is.
The first Renn Faire was in 1968. Started by then-senior Linda Howard, Renn Faire was to be a recreation of the past, bringing the humanities curriculum to life. Since then, things have changed a little. Today, Renn Faire has, according to many, lost its roots, becoming a mere party, an empty, mindlessly repeated ritual of hedonism and depravity. Others claim that it continues as a festival of creativity, following a commitment to the slightly strange and perverse ethos that Reed students thrive on. One thing that everybody does seem to agree on is that Renn Faire has, in fact, happened every year since 1968, and that it will continue well into the future, as long as Reed exists, as long as its students write theses, and as long as the neighbors in Eastmoreland have patience.
Things are going pretty well. We have about 100 hours or so, and I'll need about 98 of those, I think. But you know, why have deadlines if you don't use them?
You're not worried at all?
No, I'm not, actually.
I feel like I used to just before Christmas, because the work is either done or it's not, and all that remains is to wait, hand it in, and start partying at Renn Faire.
If I don't eat or sleep or pee, I should have it done by about Wednesday. Maybe I'll have to cut out the not peeing part. I don't know.
Usually if you ask a student, what's the social life at Reed College, Renn Faire will come up, and you get all sorts of descriptions about it, that it's some sort of crazy party, a unique party, a party that couldn't happen anywhere but at Reed, which is kind of strange because while it tries to be so unique, it also tries to be a tradition for a Reed College, or it's like one of the few things that gives Reed not only its identity of being unique, but in touch with something that has been going on for a long time, although Renn Faire really hasn't been going on that long, only about 20 years. But students will start grasping on something that goes on at Renn Faire, just some sort of goofy event. Say even like this glow opera, it's a year old. Already it's become a distinctive tradition that is essential for the Renn Faire. Like the Renn Faire couldn't happen. Like what would happen if Renn Faire didn't have the glow opera?
I think Renn Faire is a facet of, it's very in sync with what else goes on at Reed College, in that we have these cycles of bulimia, both academically and in terms of how we quote unquote have recreation. We take a lot of things in and then vomit them out. During reading week, we'll take a lot of information in and then vomit it out during finals, or at least some people will. A lot of us during the year have taken in a lot of reading and we'll vomit it out in our thesis, vomit it out again during our orals. And Renn Faire is a time when we can literally take in a lot of drugs and vomit them out, if we please.
I just had a pretty traumatic experience at Renn Faire. It was 48 hours on campus of just chaos. And I lived in Lad over there. And I was in the top room, and all it was, 48 hours of bongo drums and shrieking people and beer and, yeah, Belafonte.
That stresses no education, but stresses... Oh no, that's just gonna get to my profound point.
Okay, why don't we take a no sync?
How you doing? Oh, just fine. Lovely, wonderful event. A sense of jubilation overwhelms me.
It's only Thursday night.
It's only Thursday night, and I've given it to the printer.
This is beautiful, but it's a nightmare. I've spent 2.5 weeks getting these beautiful diagrams to somehow work in this thesis. I should have been done a week and a half ago, and the pursuit of perfection, if I would let myself give up, would have me take a weekend extension over Renn Faire.
I feel good. It's a very good thesis. Maybe I may adapt it for publishing.
You look kind of morose.
I know, I feel kind of morose. I don't know why. I think it's like I don't want to give it up, my thesis.
Why not?
Because it's my baby. And I don't want them to have it. I don't want their greasy fingers on it. I don't know. God, I mean, I feel kind of bad, almost. You say, Jesus, Thursday night. Maybe I should go back into the library and feel terrible, but I guess I'm just a day early.
I definitely think the Thesis Parade should start where it always has until they amputated the front entrance of the library and added the total disgraceful facade.
Even though it's totally inconvenient and stuff, I think it would be a neat thing to just continue to do. 20 years from now, people would still be doing it, and it would make no sense.
3:30, you're not done? What do you have left to do?
Conclusion, bibliography, table of contents. No, we just need to print most of it out.
So you're pretty close.
Pretty close.
That's reassuring.
It's gonna be a dash for the front line, front lawn.
See the gypsies dancing by, 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 see the gypsies dancing low, see the gypsies dancing by, see the gypsies dancing low, see the gypsies dancing by, see the gypsies dancing low, in the twilight whirling round, Zuba, to the zillion shaking sound, labor, 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 labor,
My thesis.
Whoa! Is that it?
Yes, it's printed on 2 sides and it's printed on recycled paper.
Oh, is that important to you?
Yeah.
How do you feel now?
Like I need some sleep. Like I need to eat some food. Like I need to get out of Reed College.
This has got to be the most bizarre Renn Faire I've ever been at, because usually the clouds go that way. Had it in 1 minute before 4, and I graduate! Hands running, yeah, and I don't care.
I'd like to thank my parents and the academy, and for having all that faith in me, and the sheep on grandfather's farm, who I love so much. The sheep, that is, not my grandfather. No, I mean my grandfather also, but I would like to thank everyone who had that much faith in me that I could make it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for a real good time. Hold on.
I don't think that your average kid coming into Reed College, and you can blame this on the admissions department or you can blame it on the country, and they kind of each blame each other. I don't think they're as interested in that sort of thing anymore, and
what sort of thing?
Doing drugs. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing per se.
We bear this sin. Now this sin would not be so bad, except I offer you as an incontrovertible proposition. There is a God who punishes! And the Lord said unto Moses, I am just and righteous God, in whom is only perfect judgment. I am wrathful! Wrathful to the sinning, who by their actions have called upon themselves eternal destruction. We are doomed! Doomed! Only the scourge can make straight the way of iniquity! Follow the book! Strip off the garment of flesh! Take up the whip
echo people with my bullhorn. Then I drank some more. Then I checked my mail. And then I drank some more. Then I went to see some plays and came back, took a piss, and then I drank some more. And then I wandered in here, and you guys are doing this thing, man. I don't understand this.
The Renn Faire film.
So what?
Well, I don't want to present any kind of false sense of resolution.
Jeremy and Jen, come here.
But I'd like to tell the story of how my bike got stolen during Renn Faire.
Finals are going to be here.
It was Saturday morning, and I came to school. The rain was falling hard, and it was a sad day because my bike, which I've had for 6 years, had been stolen. I don't lock my bike because I trust. Maybe this is wrong. But it caused me to grieve the entire day. Nay, it became a symbol for what I sense to be the degeneration of Renn Faire into a selfish, hedonistic, consumeristic mess. As the day progressed, I thought to myself, you know, I can buy another bike.
Well, let's just
Maybe I don't need my bike after all. I was deluded. I need my bike. This morning, when I got up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I was happy when I called security to find that my bike had been recovered. My bike, which had eluded me for a whole day, causing me grave anxiety, had been returned.
How's Renn Faire now?
Renn Faire is sunny. Renn Faire is a nicer place to be because we can be outside and not within the corrupted sanctums of inside. It's hard to ruin a lawn.
Well, don't worry about me, I'm on the line. Oh, yes, I can. Got the whole world died with what you forget. Oh, it comes and it's time to go. Come on, carry on. Come on, carry on.
Well, that's because people have forgotten what Renn Faire is supposed to stand for. When I was a student here some 15 years ago, there was a much higher proportion of costumes. Either that or people just took their clothes off.
Yeah, hi, I'm Igor. Vamos. We've built this edible sculpture for dogs. It's part of a Guerrilla Theater of the Absurd project for Renn Faire. And, well, we felt that dogs had been left out of Renn Faire for a long time in a way. I mean, there was an attempt at a dog show last year, but it was stopped when some dogs broke out in a fight. So we felt that they were deserving of another chance this year, and an edible sculpture for them was our solution to that. Prepare to release dogs. Release dogs. Release dogs. Well, it seems that the dogs are a little disappointed with their sculpture. I'm sure that they're just not satisfied with the aesthetic qualities. And the intersection of the horizontal and vertical planes of the piece probably really turned them off.
Do you see it as art?
I like the dog. Oh, God, no. Sure, it's very interesting. You see it as art, Sarah?
Interactive art for animals.
I don't think the concept alone makes art.
Well, I mean, there's an obvious, there's a deliberate design there. Was it architecture?
Can I get the shovel now?
Son of Kronos, our father, O lordliest of the mighty, we know already your strength and how none can stand up against it.
I lost it. It's a rock. It used to be somebody's lawn ornament. It weighs about 300 pounds. If you drop it on your foot, it'll kill you.
Copyright 1951 by the University of Chicago. All rights reserved.
Why is everybody fighting over it?
That's what it's done.
Did somebody say tradition?
Tradition!
Anyway, this could be just folklore, but story goes that one Renn Faire, I think this was one of my freshman year, Rob was wandering around and he was completely stoned. This was like Friday or Saturday of Renn Faire. It was Saturday of Renn Faire, and he really had the munchies. And this guy came by and he had like a platter full of candies, and he offered him one. So he took a whole handful because he had the munchies. And then he was wandering around a little bit later, and he started to feel a bit weird, and then he realized, wait a minute, somebody wandering around offering free candies, like, they're not just candies. And he realized that he took about 5 or 10 hits of acid. So he tripped for the next 48 hours or so, and he climbed on top of Elliott Hall and sat there all night tripping. And when there are these big sort of heating or air conditioning or something structures on top of Elliott Hall, and when they started up, he was under the impression that Elliott Hall was this enormous vehicle with an engine and that it was starting up. And he was sitting there going like, wow, I guess it's starting, well, this is cool. I mean, I can take it downtown, I can drive it downtown. You know, it's got bathrooms, Coke machines, classrooms, administrative offices. You know, it's like, you know, it's the ultimate, you know, conveniences in a vehicle. And he was going to take it downtown and take it for a spin. It never moved, though.
In what way?
Well, I mean, we were trying to, you know...
and then dawn came, and there was nobody on campus. It was completely deserted, and he was looking down at the Renn Faire maze, which I guess that's where they usually put it, which is between the Cross Canyon Bridge and Elliott Hall. And he looks down there, and he had the whole perspective on the maze, and he sees Marty, who's down there, and who's also tripping, but who's tripping much harder at this point. And he's, it's just the break of dawn. There's no one else on campus, and Marty sort of wanders into the maze, and he tries to navigate his way through. And so Rob figures, well, I'll help him out. So he starts shouting out. He's like, Marty, go left. And Marty sort of looks around, he doesn't know where the voice is coming from, and he sort of says, okay, and he turns left. He thinks it's the voice of God or his conscience or a spirit guide or something, and Rob sort of had fun with him for quite a while, steering Marty in the wrong direction, keeping him away from the exits and everything. Marty never figured out that it wasn't actually the voice of God that was guiding him through the maze.
Why would the voice of God guide Marty through the maze?
I think there's an old Yiddish phrase, God hetopti neuronim, which means God looks out for fools. It's probably true.